Well, hi my friends, this is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And guess what? Let's just go ahead and say it. We made it. Not almost, we've made it. We've made it to the end of this year, and oh my word. You know, I have this little mantra that I have used forever and ever since, from the years of when I was young, and it would be something that I would use to just talk myself down off the wall, or off the bridge, or off the edge, or just be quiet. And I'd always say, Jay, hold on. Help is on the way. And when I heard that mantra, that phrase reverberate and was spoken out, I said, oh my gosh, help is on the way. So my friends, I'm here to say, I just want to thank you. Thank you for being there for me all year. We have worked hard together, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate it. And yes, help is on the way. Now, to see what I could come up with for the end of the year, I wanted to make it quick, simple, and easy to do. And I thought, Jay, now what have you not done? Because I think a lot of you think I just can't or don't do little small projects. Oh, I do small projects, but I just love the joy of long projects. And, hey. But this came to me because back in the day when I used to do Afghans, because that's really, when I could knit first. I started knitting back in the 60s, but then I started doing Afghans more in the 70s, or crocheting. And I think everyone has done a stitch that I loved back in the day and just haven't gotten around to doing it. And that's the ripple stitch. In crocheting, we know it as the ripple stitch, but in knitting, it's more, they call it more the chevron stitch, So I thought, yeah, that would be good. It's easy to do. You do have to, if you're new, they're just little things that you have to understand of how the ripple stitch works and how it has to sort itself out to get the two ends. But once you get past that, you're on your way. So let me show you what I have. This is Jay's Crochet, the Bright Lights of Christmas Cowl. Oh, I love that. As soon as I saw the yarn, Jay's Crochet, the Bright Lights of Christmas Cowl. The bright lights of a Christmas cowl. I just thought, oh, how pretty. Now, let me show you what I came up with. So here are the bright lights. I'm going to move that over there. My little tree dangle. It's real pretty. We'll probably use that later, so I just went ahead and took it out. Well, here is the cowl. And as you can already tell, I had 3 skeins of yarn. They were just some old yarn I had bought from Hobby Lobby. It had to be 6 years ago, back in the day when they would do the big clearance sales. So this yarn, I had 3 skeins, and I had no way of, I didn't know what to do with it. And I thought, well, let's see how many things or what I can do with just 3 skeins. I got to get rid of it, people. So not only did I have this is the project, the cowl, but then there's a bonus scarf. I didn't want to just leave that little bit left, so I just did another chain, and I came up with this beautiful scarf. Look at that. The Bright Lights of Christmas. Now we have a scarf too. Not only a cowl, but a scarf. So now I'm going to roll the scarf because that's like the bonus. I'll do that last. I'll come back. Look at those colors. Isn't that pretty? Now, a cowl is just a cowl. It's just something that, now I can pull in a little bit. It's just something that we drape around our neck. Everybody has their own preference. Some like them big, some like them large. This is kind of in the middle. Jay's always kind of in the middle. I didn't do anything special except the ripple stitch. And now I didn't have all my buttons. Couldn't find all my buttons, but I will find them. But I sewed it, and then you're going to put some decorative buttons on the back. But what makes it, when you see the ripple stitch, the ripple has both ends of the ripple stitch, where you start and where you finish. No matter where you finish, you're going to get this beautiful ripple effect. Now I'm going to hold it up. Maybe if I hold it up, of course all of you know what I'm talking about, but I'm just trying to do it just to let you see how the edge looks. I don't have to put any other edging on it. I think it's pretty just like it is. Now I'm going to turn to the end where I started. This is the beginning chain here. And even it has the nice little dip. I haven't steamed or done anything, but I wanted to get this on camera as quick as possible. So you can make it however wide you want it. Some people, of course, tall people, everybody's taller than me, you know, you can go much wider if you have, you know, much in this direction. If you have more yarn, like I said, I had 3 skeins, and I just wanted to see what I could use. Trying to use that stash of this yarn. So what do you think? Easy peasy. I mean, you can't get any quicker than this. You can do this while watching a movie. By the time, I guarantee, by the time you make your chain and start, by the time the movie's over, you've got a cowl. All you have to do at the end is just sew the. I have it it laps over. You sew the ends closed. Add some decorative buttons or something else that you might want, and away you go. So, I think let me just give you some idea of some yarn, and then we'll get started, and I'll give you all the supplies. And it's a really easy. I think you'll be able to memorize this stitch real quick. All right, there it is. So I'll clear this up and be back in just a minute. All right, so here are, I think, some good yarn suggestions for making this pretty stitch. The yarn I used, like I said, was very old. It was from Hobby Lobby from at least 6 years ago. It was called Diva Sequence, and I got it on sale way back in the day when they used to have clearance sales. Not the big haul, not the big end of the year sales, but they would put stuff on clearance. Remember how they go through and put a lot of stuff. And I don't know if I used some of this before and had more skeins, but I could only find 3, so that's why. But here's some suggestions that we can find today. Here is some yarn that Joann's. You remember how Joann's used to have? I used to buy a lot of this. I thought it was pretty. I don't know. When they would have the million bags, you know, when you'd get like the pound. Well, this is one of those pounds. This, to me, works really, really great in the thick and thin type yarn. You know, where it goes from thick to medium to thin and back to thick. But not like a number 5 or something. These are all number 4s, but they're just in that thick and thin category. So now here's one. This didn't have a name. Remember, it was like the end mill in. It was in a big bag. So I have a big bag of that, and I thought, I need to use this yarn, or it's gonna, what am I gonna do with it? So here's another one. This is, you'll recognize the last 2. I have a whole bend of this. I love this yarn at the time. I just haven't used it lately. It's Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable. Oh, everyone loved this yarn when it came out. Oh my gosh, I would always buy at least 4 skeins or 5 skeins of any color. It didn't matter. Now I have a big bin, and I thought this would make a great scarf with this stitch. And then here's another one, the same one. The Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable. Just in another colorway. See, depending on, your preference, what color. Isn't that nice? Isn't that pretty? All right, then I'm using a J 6.0 millimeter. Oh my gosh, I tried to remember to do that. But a J. Now, for those that are not familiar, if you're a crocheter, you're familiar, but I'm just trying to, do the right thing in my tutorial, just give you a little information. This stitch didn't come out of this book, but I have had this book like I said, this got to be one of the oldest books that I owned. that I own. It's called Ripple Stitch Patterns, and it's by Jan Eaton. And I don't even know when they put this book out, but I'm telling you, a lot of you have this book. This book is old. And the reason I bought it at the time, because she gives a crochet version and a knitted version in this book. So I just wanted to let you see, maybe if you have this book and, you might want to look through it or pull it out again if you haven't done the ripple stitch in a while. As you can see, anytime I've ever used, when I try to use stitch, I try to put a star or something, just to let me know, oh, you've used that stitch and it's really nice. So there's a crochet version, and then she gives maybe a knitted version. See, now here's a knitted version, and then there's a crochet version. Does that make sense? Now she doesn't have charts. Sometimes on crocheting I prefer to use a chart, but I do read crochet patterns, but I can go faster with the chart, and I'm about to show you. But now here, look at it, falling leaves. Look, we just did that. We just did something like that. Okay, oh, guppy tails, look at that. And then here's a written out. See, right off the bat, that just turns my mind off, but if it was a chart, I'd be like, yay! Because I can instantly read the chart. All right, but anyway, that's just that's a book you might check and see if, look in your stash. You may have it and forgot you had it, just like me. But now the one we're going to do today came out of one of Jean Linehauser's books, one of the big books of crochet she had. I didn't feel like pulling all it out because I've already reviewed that. But this, in her book, on page 86, she has the Bobble Ripple Stitch. And she has a nice chart. Now see, instantly I can start to work. I don't have to read any of that. I know exactly what to do. Okay, but that's what it looks like. And just in case you have the book and you may want to know or follow along. But I'm going to take you step by step. All right, that's just some information just for you so that you can, kind of see how the landscape's going to work. All right, I will get some practice yarn out in just that quick. We're going to get started with Jay's Crochet, the Bright Lights of Christmas Cowl, with a bonus scarf pattern at the end. I don't have to do the scarf because it'll be the same, but at least you'll have two to choose from, or like me, do both. Okay, back in just a minute. Now, we need to talk how to measure for your chain, since if you've been working with me, you know that I try to avoid counting chains unless it's absolutely necessary for a certain design. And what I work from is just a long chain, a chain longer than what I need. So for instance, for the cowl, I would simply, the way I do it, I just start chaining, and I make a chain, and I stand up, and then I go from one side of my waist across the front of my body. I just hold the chain to one side of my waist, go across the front of my body to the opposite side of my waist. You do not have to go all the way around, just across the front is fine, and add a few more chains. And then go to the mirror and take the two ends and hold it up around your neck and see how that's going to fall. It needs to be a little longer than you think because this stitch will eat up a lot of yarn. But you want to, if you want it tighter, if you don't want it to hang too long, of course, but you're going to take this and hang it around your neck. And then if you feel like you need a few more chains, you can or whatever. But you should have enough if you, like I said, for the cowl, if you go from one side of from one waist across the front to the opposite side. Now for the scarf, for later on, you would stand up in front of the mirror, make a chain, and go from, say, below your waist, up, around your neck, and down the opposite side of your body to about the same length. So you get a nice below your waist, up around your neck, behind your neck. You're just making a chain, 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 chain. And it's best to have extra chains. It's best to have some chains when you're left. That way you don't have to pull out and start over in case you need to change anything. So I've made a little sample chain here, right here. This will be row 1. Let me check and see if I'm on. Yep, okay, this is row 1. And let's see if I think, let's try it without pulling in too close. All right. Now, I am adding a border. Here's her chart on the paper. And she starts with, you can simply say 3 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, we'll call them all double crochets. That starts the pattern, the chart. Well, I'm going to add a little border before this. And this is how, just like I normally do, if you've worked with me. In the 4th chain from the hook, I'm using my J hook now. In the 4th chain, okay, 1, 2, 3. In the 4th chain, I do an American double crochet. So 1 double crochet and then 1 double crochet in the next chain, just like that. All right, so now I have 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, now we're going to start her count. We're going to start reading off the chart. I'm going to go ahead and get myself some yarn so I won't get tangled up. Now, I chain 1 because I like a little separation from what I added, so I'm going to skip 1 on the bottom. Does that make sense? Now I want to, in the next 5 chains, I put 5 double crochets. 1, 2, that's 3, that's 4, and 5. This starts her chart right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in the ripple stitch, you have what we call, and everybody has their own little way of saying it. Some people say, "Oh, there's a valley, then a hill, a valley, then a hill." I just go, ups and downs, whatever. There's little dips, and then you go up, and then you come down, then you go up and come down. That forms the ripple effect. All right, so after the 5 double crochets, I want you to skip 2 on the bottom. 1, 2, and then I want you to put 4 double crochets in the next 4 chains. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, and 4. Now, we just made our first down. Can you see it's at the bottom and it has a little dip, see? So that's our first down. Now, once we do a down, then the next one should be an up. And that's the sequence we're going to stay in step with. So I've done 4 double crochets. Now to do an up, you chain 2 after the 4 double crochets. You chain 1, 2. All right, and then go to the next chain right here at the bottom, right next to where you stopped, and start 4 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Like I said, anyone who's done a lot of Afghans, especially baby Afghans, this is a very common and easy stitch to learn and remember. It's just remembering when you get to the beginning and the ends of each row. All right, so I have my up and 4 double crochets. Now I want a down, so I skip 2 on the bottom, 1, 2, and do the process again. Now I need 4 more double crochets. 1, 2. Let's see, can I get me some yarn? 3, and 4. All right. So now that was a down. So now I'm on an upward swing. So I chain 2. 1, 2. Go to the chain right next to this one on the bottom and start the 4 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, check. The last thing you did was an up or a down. It was an up, so I want to go down. So I skip the 2 on the bottom to bring it down, and I do 4 double crochets. This is just 2 little rows But like I said, the stitch just makes such a, all by itself. And it's the yarn that makes it pop. See now, you can do this in solid, but you know, it'd be okay. So I had a down, now I'm on, I need an up. So to do an up, I chain 2, 1, 2, and I do the double crochet next to the one at the bottom, and I need 4 of them. Just like this. Okay, let's just let me just work on, let me just go ahead and work a few to get across just a little bit, because you have a long chain, but I want to show you how to end. That's the most important part. So if I had a down, up, so now I'm on the downward side, so I skip 2 chains on the bottom, 1, 2, and then I do the 4 double crochets. Just like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, see how much chain I have left. Like I said, you have a long chain. All right, before you go too far, you know, as you're working across your chain, at least you've gone about halfway, say. Let's stop before we end for 2 reasons. First, you want to go to the mirror and just kind of hold this up to your neck. Pull the 2 ends, hold it, put it over your head, you know, put it around your neck, just to see where it's going to fall. How many, you know, there's no certain number on this, how many of these repeats. You just want to get a place that it's going to fall. If you like yours long, then you're going to have a few more. If you like yours a little closer, or a little shorter, then you won't have as many of the repeats. But the main thing is stop at this point before we go too far, because this has a certain sequence. The pattern follows a certain sequence, and so you don't want 2 downs to meet each other or 2 ups. So I go back to the beginning as I see, you know, that I'm getting ready to stop, and I walk it through. Here's a down, you see it? Then an up, down, then up. Then there's a down, then up, and down. When you get ready to stop on this end, you want to end on a down. Does that make sense? I'm just going to stop my little sample here. But I want to end on a down, and there's my down right there. Or some people say in the valley. I've heard people say all kind of things. One time I went to a workshop and the lady had, you know how you just want to go somewhere and knit. And so she had a little song. And I thought, okay, lady, I ain't doing no song. I'll just get up and go look at some books or something till you get all these new people started. You know, they always sell classes like that. That's just, you know, they try to fill the classes. I understand that. I was a shop owner once, you know. You want to fill your classes. But when you put beginners and people who know how to knit, how to crochet, you know, when you mix too much of it, it's just... So she had a little song. I can't remember the song. I like, okay, I'm going to look at something. And then I'll catch up. But don't be disrespectful, though, anytime. I always watch that. You never want to go there. Whoever's teaching, whether you know more or less, just give them, just be there. Don't be a problem. Just enjoy the moment. Look, take a snack. Take some peanuts or something. Okay, so now, so I was on the down position, and now you say, Jay, okay, I've worked across my chain, I've checked to make sure the sequence is right, now I want to stop. All right, so I have 4. So this is what I want you to do. Remember, on this end, you may not remember, but on this end, we had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we have to end the same. Then I added my border. So this is what I want you to do. When you get ready to stop on the down, 1, down here, then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, and in that 3rd double crochet, in that same chain, give me another double crochet. So there's 2 in one chain. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do 1 more double crochet in the next chain. So I'm going to hold it up. So now I do have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to match the opposite end. This is the way you're going to do every time to get the 5. If you forget and don't get the 5, your ripple. It's not going to work. All right, so now I chain 1, and what I added was the border, so I skip 1, and I add 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 on my. Now look at my sample chain. Now you have a long chain. I checked my ups and downs. I have my 2 ends match. You're going to put 2 stitches in the third, 1, 2 stitches in the third one, and then the last one, so that you'll have 5 to match this end. You chain 3 to turn, easy peasy, and that becomes row 2, the wrong side, which is the side we are going to eventually add the bobbles. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and then you will turn. Now I'm going to let you catch up a little bit while I check my camera, make sure that I got everything on there, and I will come back and we will start across row 2 and doing our bobbles. It's just a 1-2 punch, girl. That's all there is. Back in just a minute. Now we're on row 2, and row 2 is the wrong side, and we are going to add our bobbles. But first, let's start. First thing I want to do is stack my 3 double crochets on top of my 3 double crochets. So after I chain 3 and turn, I start row 2 by just stacking 1 double crochet on top of 1 double crochet, and then the next one. So now I have 3 on top of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, then I chain 1. And now I'm going to work the 5, and this is how you're going to work it once you turn. You're going to do the first double crochet, remember, then the next double crochet right there, you're going to put 2 in that 1 stitch. So I have 1 by itself, then 2, then I stack on top of the next one. We have to get 5, remember? That's the sequence. Okay, so I go to the next one. Now let's stop and count and see if you have 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you put 2 stitches in the second double crochet right there. I don't know if I'm on camera, but I hope so. All right, now I'm down to where the valley is, or the down. Right here. In order to make that, I'm going to skip over the next 2. 1, 2. So I'm going to skip over the 2 and double crochet 1, 2. I'm going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, on the first row we had 4. Now we're down to 3. Does that make sense? We had 4. After we left the 5, we had 4. Now we're down to 3. That will bring me to an up, or a heel, or whatever you want to call yours. See that space at the top of the heel? At the up? This is where we're going to add 2 bobbles. Alright, to make the bobble is simply yarn over, and we're going to go through 4 times. Okay, let's start again. Yarn over, go through, go pull up a loop, that's 1, go through again, yarn over, go through again, pull up, that's 2, that's 3, yarn over, go through again, that's 4. You should have 9 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You should have 9 loops on the hook. Now, I like to pull down on those strands of yarn so that I can get my hook through. Go through all 9. Sometimes it goes through easy, and sometimes you have to work at it. Whoops, there we go. I think I got caught I think I got caught. Okay, now watch. Sometimes it just is a lot of loops to go through, so I'm going to pull it back and let's just do it again. No problem. I have my 3 double crochets. I have the up space right there. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go through and pull up a loop, and I'm going to do it 4 times. That's 1, that's 2, That's 3, one more, and that's 4. Now, the thing of it is to kind of pull down on those loops and then pass your hook through, just like that. Ooh, that went easy. Then chain 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me get some yarn so you can see what I'm doing. I chain 3 right after that bobble. There's your bobble, the first one. We're going to put 2 in each space. So here we go, same thing, yarn over. Now let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have to pull down on them a little bit, at least for me. Then I pull my hook through and try to go through all at once, all 9, and then chain 1. There we go. 2 bobbles with a chain 3 in between, then chain 1 when you finish. Now here's the trick again. You got to look for some of these stitches. So I have to have 3. We've left the 4, everything now is 3. So if you need to count backwards 1, 2, 3 to find it, do that. But you need to go into the first double crochet, that's 1, the second one, 2, and then 3. Okay, then that leaves 1 to skip on this side and 1 to skip on this side. That makes sense. So I skip all the way across those 2 and I start the sequence again. Alright, so we just finished and we skipped over the 2 double crochets, and now I'm working towards the next up to put 2 more bobbles. So I'm only working 3 double crochets now. You don't have to worry about 4 anymore. So 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm going to stack right on top of each other. You see them? Now I'm up at the space and I'm going to do the 4. I'm going to do the 2 bobbles. So here we go. Yarn over. Go through 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and go through 4. Now, you have 9 loops on the hook, just like before. Take your time, pull down on the loops, and pass your hook through. Try to go through all 4 at once. It makes it a lot easier. And then chain 1, 2, 3, so that you have room for the next bobble. Sometimes I have to pull this over a little bit. Can you see that? All right, you have to go through again 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course pull down, try to get your hook through. I kind of pull down and then get it through. Ooh, can I make it? Yes. And then chain 1 on the end one. You chain 1. Now we have to look for 3 double crochets right here. Sometimes this first double crochet kind of hides up under the bobble. See how close they are? And you may skip it and go 1, 2, oops, you'll be short 1. So pull your bobble over out of the way if you have to and go 1. We need to do 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. You know, if you're going real fast, you know how some people just crochet real fast and then they didn't see that. They'll miss that stitch that's hidden under the bobble or right beside it, and you'll run out. So because you need 2 double crochets at the bottom to skip, 1 on this side of the space and 1 on this side. So I skip those 2 to get back in the pattern, in the sequence, and I back up to 1, 2, and 3. Oops, nope, gotta do 3. Gotta do 3, Jay. So now I have 3 double crochets ready for another bobble. Ready for 2 bobbles. So let's go 4 times now. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I try to pull up or loosen or pull down to get it to loosen up so I can get through all at once. And you can see I didn't make it. Take it out. Just pull it back. I noticed that on these clovers, the throat is not very deep. And I do miss a lot. I slide a lot on these. This is the gold color one. But that's what I'm used to. So, all right, I've got to make sure I have 3 double crochets. Make sure you didn't lose one. Let's go again. Yarn over. Now 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's try it again. All right, this time I went through. All right, now as soon as you go through that first one, then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I am ready for the second bobble right here. Let's go through. Yarn over, go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And pull down, go through, and chain 1. Made it. Woohoo! So where am I? All right, I see that. I'm at the end, really. So now I've got to do 1, 2. Oops. I got to do my 3. 1. That's 2 and 3. Then I'm gonna skip over this one and the one on this side, each side of the space. So I skip all the way over to this one, and I take a look, and it's where I should have 5. I've got to put 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do 1, then 2, then 3 double crochets, and it's in this double crochet right here before the end. There's this one right here. There's one more, but I'm going to put 2 in this chain. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I do the last double crochet right there. See, can I get in there? Okay, and then of course there's my space, my chain 1 space, and then I end with 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and go into the post to make the third one. So just try to get it in the right place, and voila. Let's just look for a minute. Okay. You have your downs, you have your ups. Now your ups are filled with bobbles, at least 2. Can you see them? All your ups, or your hills, or your mountains. But the main thing is to have those 5 stitches out at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I turn the work. Let's turn it and lay it down for a second. Now we're back to row 1. So I can easily switch that. And row 1, let's see, maybe I should do that. Let's see what's different about row 1. Okay, let me do this one change, and then that should be enough for you to get started. So first, as soon as we chain 3 and turn, we have to stack the double crochets that I added to this pattern. So I stack 3. See, now they're stacking and giving you a nice edge. 1, 2, 3. All right, then of course chain 1 to get over that space, and I need 5 double crochets. Start and stop with 5. So let's go 1. Then in the next double crochet right there, in the next one, you're going to put 2. That's 1, that's 2. So now that gives me 3. See them? 1, 2, 3. I put 2 there. Then 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So that leaves me with 1 double crochet on this side to skip and 1 double crochet on this side of the space. Does that make sense? Can you see that? Hope my hand wasn't in the way. So when I skip over, okay, then I'm going uphill again. I'm going up. So I go 1, 2, 3. Now, this is why I need to show you this. Okay, so as I'm counting up, you're going to go, oh, Jay, I don't have a third one. I don't have a place. Okay, on this one, when you go up 1, 2, after you've done the first set of bobbles, now we're on row 1, you have to go into this bobble, right? I'm trying to get it. All right, you go right into the end of the tip of that bobble, right there. There's a little tiny hole. You have to go into that little tiny hole to make number 3. So now I have 1, 2, 3, and I went into the bobble. If you don't go into the bobble, you're going to go, oh, I don't have it. And guess what? We have to put 2 more bobbles. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Okay, yarn over. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 9 loops on the hook. Pull down a little bit. See if you can make it through all 3. And chain 1, 2, 3. Alright, now you may have to push this bobble over a little bit. You got another one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull down and chain 1. Now I have to make sure that I get that very first, pull the bobble over to make sure I get in that first double crochet, and I need to go 1, 2, and 3. Now we're in, look, we got it going on. There's the 2 I need to skip, 1 on this side of the space, 1 on this side. I skip all the way past those 2 to the next double crochet, and that's going to be 1, 2, and now you don't have to worry because you know you have to go into the tip or the end of the stitch right there at the bobble in order to make 3. So I just yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, double crochet. Now I have 3. 1, 2, 3. Then look, now I can stack bobble on top of bobble. All right, I'll do it one more and then we'll stop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, pull down or loosen up the stitch a little bit and then pull through. You're supposed to have 9 loops on the hook. If it doesn't go through, back out a little bit, try it again. Pull down, loosen them up, go through, then chain 1, 2, 3. And then push that one over and make the next bobble. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull or loosen up the stitch, pull down, loosen it up, hold them tight if you can, and try to get through all 9. Chain 1, push the bobble over so you can see that first double crochet, and that you have 3 to go down. Alright, now I'm going to stop, take a breath, let you see what you should have. This is what you're working on your long chain. And this makes this pretty stitch, even in this just solid. It's solid, but it has sparkle yarn. Just some practice yarn. Alright, so row 1, you're working across, and you're putting in your bobbles as you come to them, and then you flip it over, work row 2. Alright, let you work some, and I'll come back to wrap everything up, or just kind of talk about the scarf a little bit, and we are done. And you just work until you get the length or the width that you desire. Back in just a minute. Alright, so now let's just take a quick overview again of our cowl, and let me show you how to just kind of finish up, because you're just going to work now, you're just going to work back and forth to the width of you, that you desire. You just keep putting it around your neck and see how it fits, see how you like it, and just make it as wide as you like. Now on the back, let me take my flower off here, put that one up there. On the back, I took the 2 borders. There's a border on each side, and I crossed one over on top, just like that. I just crossed them over, And then I did a little slip stitch on the wrong side. I just stitched them together because I didn't want to have to deal with them coming loose, or if the buttons came loose. Now these buttons were the only thing I was just trying to see, and then I thought, oh, I definitely don't like those. I'm kind of holding it up so you can see the color. They're just not, no, Jay. So another trip to the store, and you see the little sparkly things on in the yarn. They're kind of a fuchsia color. You probably can't see it really well on the camera. I don't know. But anyway, they're kind of a fuchsia color. So that's what I will go back to the store and find me at least 4 buttons or 5 little small buttons or whatever to make it look real pretty. Ooh, 5 little small buttons would be real cute, little round ones or something. And just come down 1, 2, 3, about 5. You know, they don't have to be, or if you're a person that likes large buttons, you know, you might just get maybe 3 large ones. But they're just for looks. So what's so sweet about it, because now you can wear it, if you had on something where you needed this color, you can wear it this side up. Or if you had a beautiful teal sweater or blouse or something, you can turn it, depending on, I'm saying teal because that's my color, depending on what your yarn will look like. You can turn it and wear it this direction. So either way, and then I added this pretty little Christmas tree charm. Just a cute little charm. Just to say you're special. So now let's switch to the scarf right quick. The scarf is nothing more than just a long, I just had extra yarn, so I cast on and I made a extra long chain. Just like I said, if you want a really long scarf, then when you do your chain, start at one knee, go up around your neck and back down to the opposite knee and make it really long. And then it can be long and skinny, or this, like I said, you can make it any width that you want. And you can wear it either way. So if you want yours to go around more than, you know, go around like this and then come around in the front, then it's going to have to be a little longer than mine. I remember I only had the 3 little skeins of this one. Now the other ones that I showed you, the other yarn suggestions, I have a lot of those. So if I wanted to make something a little more or a little longer, I can at a later date. Well, that's a big fat mess. But you saw the picture, so. And then at the end, of course, I had just enough to make some fringe. I had just a little bit, just enough, and I put about 7 strands of the yarn in each one of the, you know, and then by the time you double it over, you know, to put the fringe on. So it makes a nice, pretty fringe. Can you see that? Oh, I hit the camera. What is wrong? No, it's not. It's not 2:30. I'm doing real good tonight. It's only like 9 o'clock. I had to give up at 2:30 in the morning. But look at the fringe. Now, it needs to be steamed and given a nice little haircut. So you lightly steam it, not the whole scarf. The scarf doesn't need to be steamed. No, just the fringe a little bit. If you have a bad hair day with your fringe, take it to your iron board or your ironing little block, whatever you have, and just steam it like you do everything else. Shh. Oh, that's when it's, and then you can give it a nice little trim or a nice little haircut. Just be careful, don't go too, you know, trim it too much. So there is the really pretty scarf. Oh, don't you love that? Oh, it's just a simple ripple stitch. And I let the yarn do the work. I didn't try to manipulate the colors, I just let them be. Because, you know, let me get one of those thick and thins again. Because it's thick and thin yarn and it just does its own thing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I've got a bunch of this. Like I said, I used to buy those pound bags from Joann's. Oh my gosh, I am excited, and I hope you are too. Now, I'm going to I'm getting this one up, and then I have one more surprise, one more project for next week. I'm going to do my best to get it up. I'm going to do all I can. If we have to sit up and knit on Christmas Eve together, by golly, I'm going to get it done. So watch for that. Give this one a try. I hope you give this one a try, and then watch for, see if I make it. And do the last, my last project for the year. I can't tell you what it is because it's a surprise. This is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam, saying, look, we've made it, and hold on, help is on the way. All right, see you in a few. Take care. Bye-bye.